Part 2, Looking at the World. Whether they study volcanoes and storms or people and cities, geographers have to look carefully at the world around them. To fully understand how the world works, geographers often look at places at 3 different levels. Local level. Some geographers study issues at a local level. They ask the same types of questions we ask at the beginning of this chapter. How do people in a town or community live? What is the local government like? How do people live there get around? What do they eat? By asking these questions, geographers can figure out why people live and work the way they do. They also can help people improve their lives. For example, they can help town leaders figure out the best place to build new schools, shopping centers, or sports complexes. They can also help the people who live in the city or town plan for future changes. Regional level. Sometimes, though, geographers want to study a bigger chunk of the world. To do this, they divide the world into regions. A region is a part of the world that has one or more common features that distinguish it from the surrounding areas. Some regions are defined by physical characteristics, such as mountain ranges, climates, or plants native to the area. As a result, these types of regions are often easy to identify. The Rocky Mountains of the western United States, for example, make up a physical region. Another example of this kind of region is the Sahara, a huge desert in North Africa. Other regions may not be so easy to define, however. These regions are based on the human characteristics of a place, such as language, religion, or history. A place in which most people share these kinds of characteristics can also be seen as a region. For example, most people in Scandinavia, a region in Northern Europe, speak similar languages and practice the same religion. Regions come in all shapes and sizes. Some are small, like the neighborhood called Chinatown in San Francisco. Other regions are huge, like the Americas. This huge region includes 2 continents, North America and South America. The size of the area does not matter, as long as the area shares some characteristics. These shared characteristics define the region. Geographers divide the world into regions for many reasons. The world is a huge place and home to billions of people. Studying so large an area can be extremely difficult. Dividing the world into regions makes it easier to study. A small area is much easier to examine than a large area. Other geographers study regions to see how people interact with one another. For example, they may study a city such as London, England, to learn how the city's people govern themselves. Then they can compare what they learn about one region to what they learn about another region. In this way, they can learn more about life and landscapes in both places. Now, the third one is global level. Sometimes geographers do not want to study the world just at a regional level. Instead, they want to learn how people interact globally or around the world. To do so, geographers ask how many events and ideas from one region of the world affect people in other regions. In other words, they study the world on a global level. Geographers who study the world on a global level try to find relationships among people who live far apart. They may, for example, examine the products that a country exports to see how those products are used in other countries. In recent decades, worldwide trade and communication have increased. As a result, We need to understand how our actions affect people around the world. Through their studies, geographers provide us with information that helps us figure out how to live in a rapidly changing world. Now down at the bottom here, there's some nice diagrams that kind of show you what local level, regional level, and global level mean. Geographers look at the world in many levels. At each level, they ask different questions and discover different types of information. By putting information gathered at different levels together, geographers can better understand the place and its role in the world. So here we have a busy neighborhood in London, and it's a local area. A geographer here might study the local foods, the housing, the clothing, or they might look at a regional level. As a major city, London is also a region. At this level, the geographer might study the city's population or the transportation systems. And at a global level, there's London on the globe. London is one of the world's main financial centers. Here, a geographer might study how London's economy affects the world.